Hey YouTube, welcome to development progress video number 10 for in Exilium. I hope everyone who played the demo really enjoyed it. I got a little bit of feedback from it, which was good. Actually, a lot has already changed since I released the demo. In the demo, for those of you who didn't play, only kind of the forest section was available, and I've already kind of changed that around a lot. There used to be kind of like a grave scene. For those who played, there was like a grave stone part with some graves and a portal there that led to another forest map, and that didn't really make sense to me, so I basically removed that for now, and moved around some other stuff, added a couple new secrets to the area, and I also added the final boss and what happens when you defeat the final boss. So the forest is a little more rounded out. Another thing about it too is for the demo, the learning curve, or not, the difficulty curve, I think was pretty steep because I was trying to basically stuff all the content that I've created so far into that one section of the game, just like the forest. I was trying to put all the enemies in that I had already been created. I was trying to just shove all the items that I created in, all the skills and stuff, and so I wanted people to be able to play it up to, you know, a really high level if they wanted to without it becoming too easy. So the difficulty curve was pretty steep, but once more sections come into play, that's going to balance out a lot more too. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. So I've made some changes. Some of the changes I want to show off here. The first one being that previously when you selected a character, it would take you to a scene that you would choose whether you want to host your own LAN or join someone else's. And the more I thought about that, I thought that that was kind of a weird way to handle it. So now when you click it, it just loads you straight into the lobby. Here's my dude, by the way. And from in here you'll be able to click a multiplayer tab, and I still have to work on it, so multiplayer is currently not functional, but in here you're going to click the multiplayer button, and that's going to bring up an option for you to host a server for other people to join and play, and or join one. That's going to be a little bit down the road to get that, but this is just this way of handling it. I think is a lot better, and it makes a lot more sense for the multiplayer. So, and another thing is these missions. I'll save talking about that stuff for a later video, I guess. Okay, so let's dive on in. I think the rest of the changes I want to show are in the game. Alright, so first thing you'll probably notice is I created a handy dandy little mini map up here, but previously in the map, you get a little sneak peek at the map here, but there used to be a tab here for the world map and then a local map, and it was kind of a really crappy mini map that served, like, it was pointless basically. I found that it was just a pain to look at it and find out where you are in the map, and it didn't really show enough to be relevant at all, just kind of like just your position on the map, and I didn't quite know how to incorporate all the objects on that little map. But anyway, this new mini map that I have here is really well. I can put stuff in certain layers so that it only shows up in the mini map here. So you get this little kind of green arrow here that shows your player and where he's positioned. Let's see. Another little feature I added was a kind of area of interest for items that are on the ground so you don't miss them, which I think was really important. I've noticed myself like just running along, and I would like run over an item and see that like the little label here pops up for me to pick it up, but I couldn't really see. It was like in some grass or behind a tree, and I couldn't really see it. So now this will kind of help this kind of sparkly effect here. I think it's a pretty standard practice amongst RPG type games where you pick up items to have some sort of effect to just indicate that it's something on the ground. So that's pretty cool. And then I guess the biggest change so far is that I've actually started developing the desert section. So like I said before, only the forest section was available in the demo. There's going to be a total of, well, there's 6, give or take. There's going to be 6 basically. There's going to be 6 main sections of the game. So the first one's the forest, the second one here is the desert, and then the third one is the mountains over there. Those are the 3 that are kind of obviously available right now. and then there are 2 other ones that kind of coincide with these 3, and then there's a final kind of section. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of how much content is still left to be in this game. The forest still isn't completely done at all, but it's only one of 6 sections. So, but anyway, so I started on this desert area, so let's go ahead and dive right in. I have the composer that I've been working with create like a track, and I'll turn it up a little bit so you can kind of hear it. Yeah, so it's kind of like the inspiration that I originally thought was kind of like a Ocarina of Time Zelda, like the Gerudo desert area, so kind of like a Spanish thing. But the more I've kind of played around in the desert here and listened to it, I don't know if it really matches well. It doesn't really go with the other songs that I have in the game that are kind of much more ambient and a little kind of on the somber side. And I want to create something that kind of has a desert flavor, but still is true to kind of the musical tone that I kind of want the game to have. So even though this track is pretty awesome, it's an awesome track actually, it's probably not going to go into the final game. I'm having the composer kind of work on a new version anyway. So the desert is huge like that, so this map is going to be like one of the maps that's just big. Like I want you to be able to explore around in it. You can see up in the mini map we're coming up on something here. So this is, I won't get into that because that's kind of a little spoiler. So basically in the desert there are some secrets. As you saw, I think we kind of ran past something here that probably looks a little interesting. These are, once again, I don't really want to go into too much. It's basically there's stuff to kind of roam around and explore in the desert, kind of figure out what's going on. There's some secrets in here, and just like there will be in the forest too. The forest probably not so much, but in other maps in the game I kind of want to add elements where the player's gonna have to kind of look around and explore and figure out what kind of the stuff that they come across in the game does, because it's not gonna be really obvious even by going and playing around with that one thing I just walked by what its purpose is. Like you'll have to kind of explore around and really kind of see what's going on. So yeah, so this is kind of the very first rough kind of iteration through of the desert. As you can see, there's the giant scorpion enemies here that I think fit in really well. The last thing I want to show off is one more enemy type that is gonna kind of be in the desert here. And up over here, I think so there's kind of a rocky portion. So another enemy that's in here are these sandstone golem guys. I just wanted to show them up because I think they look really cool. So it's just another enemy that you'll be able to fight in the game. And actually, I think that's about all I wanted to show this time. The progress on the desert's really coming along. The demo is still available for people to download. I don't think I'm going to update it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So if you want to kind of get a little flavor of how the game's played, go ahead and go to the site. It's www.confluxgames.com, and you can I'll put a link down in the description, but you can go there and download. You'll just have access to the forest area, and the difficulty curve is pretty steep, but if you just want to get a feel for the gameplay and some of the skills and stuff that are in there, by all means, please go for it and download it. Other than that, I think that's all I have. If you are interested in this project and want to follow development, please feel free to subscribe here on YouTube. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, where I post updates as well. That's @ConfluxGames. I'll put a link down in the description for that as well. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.